What is poppin', y'all, everybody? It's your man, Clout Boy Bales, and welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports Weekly. Today's episode, we're talking about the Packer game. Well, looking back 2 weeks ago, I thought it was Jordan Love was going to be out, possibly, if it was an ACL tear, that was it for him for the year. But we're lucky enough to be an MCL sprain where we knew he was going to be out for possibly a month. But now we're sitting at 2-1 with him possibly coming back next week. And there was talk that he was actually going to try to play last week against the Colts, and then obviously they decided to be cautious. And once again, they decided to be cautious because I guess we're playing a Tennessee Titans team that I guess in my mind is just not good this year. But you know what? I think it was the right move to sit Love because personally, they didn't need him. Our defense did the job. I mean, our defense came out there and probably gave one of the best performances that I would probably say I have not seen from the team in quite a long time. Just what a day. And this was different. Last week, our offense was running the ball so well against the Colts. And this week, we weren't running the ball as much. We actually passed more today. Now, I think a lot of it definitely had to do with our defense really stepping up and doing some things. But I think we had a lot of people really step up in this game. My game ball is going to once again go to Malik Willis. I was kind of on the verge of it because I feel like everybody contributed so well with the team. And if we're being completely honest, you got to give credit to Brian Gutekunst for getting Malik Willis from Tennessee, knowing that Willis was never going to really get a chance. I'm happy that we were able to get him because honestly, Willis is, I think, no starter, but he is playing well enough to be a backup in the league. And he is really turning some heads. The thing is, as a Packers fans, we never really had a quarterback that ran the ball, like a scrambling quarterback. It's great to actually see that from somebody this time around. And I think it's really showing maybe the Packers with Love should try to consider running more. I know Love wants to pass more, but maybe Willis should be incorporated in the offense somehow because the guy can run. It's not, no one's wrong about it. I feel like maybe put some read options in there. It's not a bad idea, but definitely I'm very happy with this win. And this is one of the most happiest I've been because I said last week, if Malik Willis came in here and went into Tennessee and was able to defeat Tennessee, I said it would be the most comical win. After what Tennessee pretty much did to him, every single person in Tennessee thought he was the worst quarterback they've ever seen, and he comes into Tennessee and basically beats the quarterback that basically ousted him in Tennessee. And no offense, Will Levis is garbage. I'm sorry. He's just the most mediocre quarterback. He has so much potential, and I just don't think he'll ever really be good. But what a day for the Green Bay entirely. Going on the statistics for today, Malik Willis went 13-19, 202 yards and a touchdown through the air. He was only sacked 3 times, but a lot of them were short yard sacks because he was trying to scramble. Malik Willis also had 6 carries for 73 yards on the ground and a touchdown. I think that's the most yards we've had a quarterback run for, a Packer quarterback ever run for. In my time, I don't think I've ever seen a Packer quarterback run for that many yards. Pretty impressive. On the ground game, I wouldn't say it was the greatest. Emmanuel Wilson led it with 12 carries for 50 yards, as well as 2 catches for 35 yards and the touchdown, his first career touchdown for Emmanuel Wilson. He definitely had himself a good day. Josh Jacobs didn't have a great game as he did last week, only 14 carries for 43 yards and a catch for 5. Not much from everyone else. Jaden Reed had 4 catches for 50 yards and 2 carries for 19. Christian Watson led the day, two catches for 67 yards. Tucker Kraft had 2 catches for 24. Romeo Doubs had a catch for 18 and a catch for 3 yards for Luke Musgrave. Yeah, and that's what really was great. On the defensive side, Isaiah McDuffie led the way with 9 total tackles. Quay Walker had 6 tackles. And let's just talk about this. We sacked Will Levis 8 times today. 8 times we have sacked Will Levis today. That's incredibly crazy. 0.5 for Isaiah McDuffie, 0.5 for Quay Walker, 2 sacks for Devontae Wyatt, 1.5 sacks for Kingsley Inigbare, a 0.5 sacks for Edgerrin Cooper, 2 sacks for Preston Smith, and a sack for Lucas Van Ness, who also had a fumble recovery that was, I believe, Kingsley Inigbare forced the fumble, and that was recovered by Lucas Van Ness. And 2 interceptions for the day, one by Jair Alexander, who took it to the house for his first career pick 6. How about that? And Xavier McKinney already has his 3rd interception as a Green Bay Packer. Let's just say this, guys. 7 interceptions already this season. 7 interceptions already this season. We had 7 takeaways all of last year. All of last year. We were so bad at that. And this year is different. Jeff Hafley has made this defense. It seems different. We are more aggressive. This team has opened up so much possibilities. I have so much confidence. This is the most confidence I've ever had in our defense. It's crazy. And then on our special teams, Brayden Narveson went 3 of 3 from the field goal line. He did miss one, but that got called back due to a penalty, and that was fine. And then punting, Daniel Whelan had 5 punts. And then on the Tennessee side, Will Levis went 26 of 34, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And then 3 carries for 12 yards. On the ground game, Tony Pollard had 6 carries for 14 yards and 3 catches for 15. Tajay Spears had 2 carries for 17 yards and 4 catches for 54 yards. He's a good number. He's a 3rd down back, that's for sure. DeAndre Hopkins led the way, 6 catches for 73 yards and the touchdown. Josh Wiley had 4 catches for 43. Tyler Boyd, 3 for 33. Chiga Kwankwo, 2 for 15. Nick Van Nett, 2 for 9. That was the other touchdown. And Calvin Ridley was only held for 1 catch for 9 yards. Traylon Burks, 1 for 9. And that's another thing. Calvin Ridley, the last time we faced Calvin Ridley, he didn't even get a catch against us. So for some reason, we do good against Calvin Ridley. Don't know why. Ernest Jones led the way with 13 total tackles. Kenneth Murray had 8 tackles and 2 sacks. Also, Jeffrey Simmons, their star on defense, had a sack. Not much from anyone else. And then their no kicks, and their Ryan Stonehouse had 4 punts that were not that good. But otherwise, all I'm going to say is, we won 30-14. This was just a dominant victory. We led the whole way, didn't look back. This was just a dominant victory. Malik Willis did what he needed to do once again, and he stepped up. He had a way better game than he even did last week. Last week, we were running all over the place. This week, we had Tennessee did their game film. They figured out how to stop the run, but Malik Willis was doing everything else, and he was passing against, what do you expect? He practiced against this defense all through training camp. So he pretty much knew how to beat him. But it just makes me so happy to see him come into Tennessee and do this to his old team after they ousted him. It's just incredible just to see this. I'm happy for Malik Willis, and if this is obviously the last we see of Willis this season, with Love possibly returning next week, thank you, Malik. You are proving that you can be a good backup, and I think that's what's really important. Jordan Love practiced all week. There was a possibility he was even going to play today, but I think they decided to wait it out. I said my prediction that I was saying with most people, I think he would be back Week 4 against Minnesota at home. This would be a great game. And I feel like it will be now, because looking back, I thought Minnesota was not going to be as good. Thinking Sam Darnold was the quarterback, I was like, I don't know if Minnesota's going to be that good. But Minnesota is 3-0 right now. They are one of the only undefeated teams in the league right now. And, they got a dominating win against the New York Giants, who suck. They've defeated the San Francisco 49ers and the Houston Texans at home. 2 teams that are possible Super Bowl contenders. So it's clear, maybe Minnesota's not that bad as what we thought they were going to be. I mean, Minnesota's 3-0, but this could be a really good game because, again, Minnesota's got Aaron Jones. Minnesota's got Justin Jefferson. They have great wide receivers. And Sam Darnold is out here looking like an MVP. I have no idea what happened. Now, Vikings fans are obviously holding their breath right now because Sam Darnold did suffer a knee injury, which might mean he might not even play this coming Sunday. That's a noon game at home. And it will probably be Nick Mullins instead. But it's a huge deal because this Minnesota team is better than we thought. And I think that's really important. I think we really need to be on our A game. With Jordan Love possibly returning, this could be a great starting point for Jordan Love. I'm excited about this one because I feel like we always get good games against Minnesota, or we get some bad games. It's always different. But what's interesting is we have to face Aaron Jones. And it's going to really suck because I can't imagine him being so fueled up to want to get a revenge win for the Minnesota Vikings. And I hope that's not the case. I hope we can win at home. But if we are playing, the defense plays the way that we have played, and this offense, I mean, with Jordan Love, we had a completely different playbook. But with this offensive playbook that we are seeing as of recently that Matt LaFleur has developed with Malik Willis, being able to run the ball effectively and do some other trick plays and all this other stuff, I can't imagine when Love comes back, they're going to implement a lot of that play calling into Love. And this play calling book that we have right now, honestly, it has me really stoked to see how much potential this offense has to be really good. I can't wait. In the means, obviously Minnesota is 3-0. They are still in first place. Chicago did lose today to the Indianapolis Colts. They are obviously now in last place. And we are tied with the Detroit Lions, who beat the Cardinals. That is the division standings. Big game, Minnesota Vikings next week. And, of course, more to come. What a good day. I mean, first you get the Packers victory, and then also the Brewers. They were down 8-0, and they came back and won 10-9. What a game. I'll obviously tomorrow I will be talking about the Brewers. I apologize. I was so busy with work, I never really got to talk about that. When it happened, it was late nights. I just didn't really feel like talking about it. Tomorrow, I feel like will be the perfect chance to talk about how I feel about the Brewers and celebrate the success that they had this season. And this actually, I'll announce it. Tomorrow will be my very first episode of What's Brewing, my new podcast, talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. It'll be exciting. I'm going to have it's going to be probably every Monday, released in the morning, talking about Brewers' success, and I believe I will say that tomorrow will be my first episode. I'm going to debut it. So, if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and as always, we will see you next time. Go Pack Go.